Hi, I'm Nancy, and this is a gentle yoga class. Thank you for joining me. So you can do yoga in your shoes if you want to, or you can take them off. If you're not on carpet, you should probably take off your socks so you're not slippery. You can always use your mat. Or if you're on carpet, you maybe don't need a mat. You can use some props. I have yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can always use some cans. They fit together nicely and they're about as tall as a block if you stack two of them together. So say I'm doing a forward fold and I can't touch the floor or it's too much strain on my legs. I can put my hands on my cans or my blocks. These cans are great because they stack so nicely you can make them even taller and they extend your arms. So let's start seated, maybe cross-legged. If this is uncomfortable, you could also sit on a pillow or some blocks. Sit on blocks. That helps you have more room for your knees to come down. Another thing that you can do is sit on a pillow, a firm pillow. I've got a bolster here. You can use any kind of pillows as long as they're pretty firm. Another thing that you could do is sit on blankets. A lot of people like the blankets. These Mexican style blankets are really good. They're nice and firm. I've got two of them here. So I'm just going to sit on these blankets. I'm going to take my palms up, inhaling and exhaling. Relaxing my neck. Breathing into my belly. Inhaling and exhaling, sitting up tall. Trying to clear our minds. Let's open our eyes and thread our fingers together and roll our shoulders to the wall behind us as our knuckles reach forward. And let's turn our palms up and stretch. Exhale, hands down. Weave our fingers together, stretch. Palms up. Relax down. One more time. Palms up and down. Let's take both hands to the left and twist. And hands to the right and twist. And switch sides. And switch. One more time. This time, lift your left hand up and over. Stretch your side. All of those muscles around the left ribs. And let's take that hand to the opposite knee. Arms are crossed. Let's roll back. And both hands to the right. Sit up tall and twist. Take that right hand up and over. Stretch the right side. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Stretching all of those rib muscles. Let's take our hands to opposite knees and roll back. Good job. Now let's take our feet forward. So if you're sitting on a prop, either your blocks or your blanket or your cushion, this gives you a little more room to extend your legs if you're not as flexible. If you're very flexible, you might just want to sit flat. This is called Dandasana. And we'll sit up tall. You can take your hands beside you and press into the floor. Get some room between your vertebrae. Breathing. Neck is soft. You could shake your head no. You can nod your head yes. Dandasana, staff pose. So we call the poses by their names in Sanskrit, ancient Indian language. So this is Dandasana, staff pose. Let's pull the soles of our feet together. Maybe your legs are in a diamond shape, and let's sit up really tall. Maybe you pull your heels in close. Sitting up tall, pulling that belly button in and up. Let's roll our shoulders back and down and sit up tall. This is Baddha Konasana, bound angle or cobbler's pose. Because cobblers would make their shoes sitting in such a position. Let's take our feet a little forward and we'll hold on to the big toe bones and open up our feet like a book. Let's extend one leg and let's pick up the other leg. Maybe we cradle our knee with our elbow and rock back and forth, opening up the left hip. And let's switch sides, cradling the baby, rocking a little bit, stretching out that right hip. So another useful prop is a strap. You can also use a belt, a long belt or a dog leash or a strong scarf. Let me just show you the belt. Strap. This one's about 8 feet long. I've got it in a loop. So say you want to stretch forward and you can't reach your toes. Maybe you put this strap around the bottom of your feet and you reach forward. So let's go ahead and do that. If you have your strap, you can use it. If not, you can hold on with your fingers. You don't have to touch your toes. You could hold onto your shins. So we're stretching our low back and the backs of our legs, our calves and the hamstrings and the back of our thighs. Maybe bend and straighten your knees. So your strap can be around both feet or just one. Bending and straightening your knees. Your toes reach toward your eyes. And we'll release our strap. Let's move to our hands and knees. Our hands are under our shoulders and our knees are under our hips. We have a flat back. We're looking down at the floor. Let's lift our right hand with our thumb up. And replace that hand. Lift your left hand, thumb up. Replace that hand. Lift your right leg, pressing the heel to the wall behind you. And switch. Lift your left leg, press your heel to the wall behind you. And now, leaving your left leg up, lift your opposite hand. Lift your right hand, thumb up. Trying to get your arm and your leg parallel to the earth. Breathing You're like a bird dog. This is excellent core work. Put your hand down and put your knee down. Lift your other leg, your right leg, pressing that heel back. Lift your left arm, thumb up. Opposition. Fingertips reach to one wall and your heel reaches to the opposite wall. Let's switch. Breathing. And switch. Switch. Last time, switch. And take your knees down. Let's take our knees as wide as our mat, our big toes touch, and let's press our hips back to our heels. We're moving into a child's pose here. We can press our hands far forward. Maybe our elbows come down. Maybe our forehead comes down. Or we could fold our arms and rest our forehead. We're pushing our hips back toward our heels. Stretching the low back. Maybe we rock our hips side to side a little bit. Let's look up between our hands and we'll walk both hands toward the left and stretch that whole right side. And let's walk our hands to the other side, to the right, and stretch your whole left side. And bring the hands back to the center. Come up to all fours, and let's come down to our belly. We're resting our toenails on the mat. Our elbows are under our shoulders and our palms are wide. Our hands are like starfish. Pressing the fingertips down. Let's pull our belly button in and up. See if you can lift your belly button up off the mat. Let's roll our shoulders back and down. We're looking where the wall and the floor meet. We're breathing. This is a mini back bend. Gentle. Let's come down and fold our wrists and rest our chin on our wrists. This is crocodile. And we'll take our elbows under our shoulders and our hands are like starfish. This is Sphinx pose, like the ancient Egyptian Sphinx statue. And we're pulling our belly button in and up. And we could press our toenails down and we could lift our kneecaps up just a little bit, pulling our thighs up toward our hips. We are breathing. This is an active pose, rolling our shoulders back and down. A little back bend. Let's come down and rest in crocodile, crossing our wrists, resting our chin. One more time, elbows under the shoulders, hands are like starfish. Pressing the toenails down, lifting the kneecaps, pulling the thighs up toward our hips, pulling our belly button in and up, rolling our shoulders back and down. Neck is loose. Sphinx, working that core. This is a lot of work on the lower back. Let's come down and rest in crocodile. And we'll we'll take our hands under our shoulders and put some weight in our knees and press back into child's pose. Stretching that lower back, you could cross your arms and rest your forehead. Or you can keep your arms straight and press into your hands, pressing your hips back toward your heels. Look between your hands, come up to hands and knees. Tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And let's inhale as we look up to cow, and let's round to cat. Cow and cat. Cow and cat. Let's take both feet to the right and look at them. And the feet to the left and look at them. And right, stretching the low back and the hips. And left, stretching your sides. One more time, right. And one more time, left. And return to center. Let's try down dog. So from tabletop, we're going to move our hands one palm print forward and tuck our toes and then press into the feet, lift the hips up. The hips are reaching to where the wall and the ceiling meet. This is down dog. Your heels are up. You can shake your head no. You're looking between your feet. Let's put our knees down and the tops of our feet down and press back into child's pose. Look up between your hands, press into your hands. Come up to all fours, tuck your toes, press your hips up, down dog. You can shake your head no. You can press one heel down and lift it and press the other down. This is called walking the dog. When you first start yoga, down dog might not feel so comfortable. Your sinuses might not like it. You might not like being up upside down, but if you try this for about a month, you might like it. It becomes a resting pose. Let's put our knees back down, the tops of our feet down, press back to child's pose. We're really stretching out this back. Maybe you take your hands down to your heels and do full child's pose. Pulling your hands and your heels, pulling your tailbone down toward your heels. Breathing into your back body. Let's return our hands in front and lift our head. Come back to all fours. Let's do down dog again. Tucking our toes, lifting our hips up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Neck is loose. We can shake our head no gently. Gently nod our head yes. Let's walk the dog. One heel down and then the other. And then let's slowly, with baby steps, walk our feet up to the front of our mat, keeping our knees bent. And when your feet get up to the top of the mat, bend your knees and rest your belly on your knees. Maybe your hands are touching the floor. Maybe you use your blocks or your cans if you need some more height. And And then let's slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time, starting with your lower back. Keeping your knees bent, your middle back. Take your hands above your knees onto your thighs. Slowly roll up, upper back. And let's take our hands up to the sky. Maybe we hold a sword. Maybe we do a little mini back bend, just a little bit. And bring our hands to heart center. Let's roll back down, bending our knees, rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Maybe resting our belly on our lap. Maybe holding onto our cans or our blocks. Like a rag doll, maybe we twist a little bit from side to side, get a big stretch on those hips and lower back. And let's slowly roll up, lower back, middle back, upper back, lifting our head. Maybe we look up and take our arms up. Maybe we do the mini back bend. Hands to heart center. Let's roll back down. Bending our knees. Maybe resting our belly on our thighs. Breathing into the back body, stretching the low back. You can shake your head no. You can nod your head yes. Let's slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. The last thing comes up is the head. We could take our hands overhead and hold that sword if we wish. And bring our hands back to heart center. Let's shake it out. Let's try some warrior poses. So if you like, get your props. I'm gonna get my blocks. You might want to have 2 blocks on each side, just to have them handy. Or get your cans. And I'm gonna step out wide. I'm gonna turn my back foot 10 degrees and my whole front leg 90 degrees. I'm gonna bend my front knee. I'm gonna move these blocks so you can see. So, my front heel is in line with my back arch, like I'm on a tightrope. My knee is over my ankle or behind it. We don't want it to be in front because that can hurt your knee. When I look down, I can see my big toe on the inside of my knee. I'm gonna straighten out my arms. This is Warrior 2. I'm pressing into the outside edge of my back foot, pulling my belly in toward the spine and up toward the heart. My shoulders are down. I'm gazing over my front middle finger. All 4 fingers and the thumb are pointing the same direction, sending my energy. I'm going to look at my back hand, same thing. Trying to get both of my arms parallel to the earth at shoulder height. Do what is best for your neck. Maybe your neck doesn't want to look that way. That's fine. It can go anywhere. That's comfortable. Let's do reverse warrior. I'm going to drop the back hand and flip the top hand up. Reverse warrior. Return to warrior 2. Let's do extended side angle. So you could take your hand to your thigh. You could take your top hand to your hip. You could take your forearm to your thigh. You could put your hands on the blocks. You're pressing into the outside edge of your back foot. Roll your shoulder open. You could look down. You could look forward toward your screen or up to the sky. You can keep your top hand on your hip, or you can take that hand up and over, and you're one long line from your back heel to your fingertips. Maybe your front elbow is barely touching your thigh. Using your back heel and your fingertips to lift you into one straight line. Using your core, pulling your belly button in and up. On an inhale, somebody pulls our wrist up to the sky, and we toe heel back to the center and shake it out. Let's do Warrior 2, an extended side angle on the other side. Virabhadrasana 2 and Utthita Konasana, extended side angle. So we're gonna step out wide and turn our back foot in 10 degrees and our whole front leg 90 degrees and bend our front knee. Let's check our alignment. Our knee is over or behind our ankle, not in front of it. We can see our big toe when we look down. Our big toe is on the inside of our knee. We're pressing into the outside edge of our back foot. That's grounding us. When we look over our front middle finger, all 4 fingers and the thumb stretch forward. And when we look at our back hand, all 4 fingers and the thumb stretch the opposite way. Checking to see if both arms are shoulder height. We're breathing, pulling our belly button in and up. We want to be straight up, not too far into the future, not too far into the past, straight up in the present. Let's drop our back hand and flip our top hand up. Reverse warrior. And now to extended side angle. So we could take our hand to our thigh and just leave it there. We could stack up as many cans or blocks as we want. Put our hand there. Or we could put our forearm on our thigh. We're pressing into the outside edge of the back foot. We can take our hand to our hip and stay here. Or we can come up and over. One long line from the heel to the fingertips. Maybe we're barely resting our hand on our leg or our block. We could look down, or forward, or up to the sky, whatever's best for our neck. And when we're ready to come out, on an inhale, somebody pulls us up to the sky, and we toe heel back to the center, and shake it out. That was great. We did Warrior 2, extended side angle, and reverse warrior. Now let's do triangle. So you can do triangle at a wall if you want to, or you can use your blocks and your props, or you don't need to use anything at all, whatever you feel like doing. So we're going to start in the middle of our mat and step out wide. We're going to turn our back toes in 10 degrees and our whole right leg 90 degrees and keep our legs straight but not locked. We're going to reach as far as we can, and when we can't reach any further, we're going to tilt and put our hand on our thigh or our shin or our blocks. And you can take your top hand to your hip, or you can raise that top hand, pushing your shoulder open, heart open to heaven. You could look down at your foot. You can look forward, or you can look up to the sky. So we're not crunching, we're stretching both sides. We're pressing into the outside edge of our back foot to ground us. Our front hand can be loose. We're not pushing on our leg. We're just using our leg for support or our block for support. We're breathing. On an inhale, somebody pulls our wrist to the sky and we toe heel back to the center and shake it out. So that is Trikonasana, triangle pose. Let's do it again. Stepping out wide. So you might want to get your blocks and put them behind your right heel. Stepping out wide. Let's turn our left foot in 10 degrees and our whole right leg 9 degrees. So when we turn our right leg, we're turning from the hip. Reach as far as we can, and we can't reach any further. We're going to put our hand on our prop, our thigh, or our shin. You can take your top hand to your hip, or lift that hand, open your shoulders so your heart reaches to heaven. You could look down, you could look forward, or you could look up toward your hand, whatever you prefer. We're stretching one long line. Stretching both sides, not crunching. Breathing. Trikonasana. There's a lot of triangles in this pose. The legs are a triangle. The right side of the body with the arm and the leg is also a triangle. On an inhale, somebody pulls you up to the sky. Toe heel back together and shake it out. Let's do Warrior One. I'm going to roll out a second mat just so I can face you without moving all the other stuff around. And I'm going to step up to the top of my mat. And then I'm going to step back about 2/3 of the way. Let's turn our right foot to the diagonal and step far forward with the left foot. Turn your hips to the wall in front of you. If you had flashlights, you could see the flashlights on the wall in front of you. Pull your belly in and up. Roll your shoulders back and down. Look up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Again, we're pressing into the outside edge of the back foot. You're feeling a big stretch in the back, hip and thigh on the outside. And then we can roll our shoulders back and down. If you wish, you can keep your hands at your hips. Or you could do goalpost arms. Or you could lift your hands, interlacing your fingers, pointing your index fingers up, trying to get your upper arms next to your ear. Let's relax our neck, shaking our head no, nodding our head yes. Maybe doing a little mini back bend. Let's take the hands to the hips and toe heel that front foot to the back and shake it out. I'm going to demonstrate from another direction. Taking the right foot forward and the left foot is back. Your left foot is at an angle. Your feet are on two different lines as if they're on railroad tracks, not on a tightrope. You're bending your front knee, but you don't want your knee to go past your ankle. And when you look down, you can see your big toe on the inside of your knee. Pressing into the outside edge of your back foot, the blade side of your foot, the baby toe side, pressing into the back of that heel. Feeling a big stretch in the back thigh. Pulling the belly in and up. If you had those flashlights, they'd be shining on the wall in front of you. Roll your shoulders back and down. You can keep your hands on your hips, or you could do goalpost arms. Or you could hold your sword. Neck is relaxed. You can shake your head no. You can nod your head yes. Doing a little mini back bend. Let's take our hands to our hips and toe heel that front foot to the back and shake it out. So let's do warrior 3 this time. So we did warrior 1 just now. We did warrior 2. And now we're going to do warrior 3. So take your props. You could also use a chair. If you had a chair or piece of furniture right here, you can go up to a chair or piece of furniture. Otherwise, you can stack your 2 blocks or your cans. And let's step back 2/3 of the way on our mat. And we're going to start with warrior 1. We're going to turn our right foot 10 degrees and step far forward with our left foot. Turning our hips to the wall in front of us. When you look down, you can see your big toe on the inside of your knee. That means you're pushing your knee a little bit toward the baby toe side of your foot to protect your knee. You don't want your knee to cave inward. That hurts your knee. So we'll start with warrior 1. It can either be hands to your hips, goalpost arms, or holding your sword. And then for warrior 3, you point your fingers forward. You hop your back foot forward a little bit. Almost all of your weight is on your front foot. And then you can put your hands on your chair or your props. Lift up your back foot with your toes facing down. This is the modification of warrior 3. Trying to get that upper leg parallel to the floor. When you're ready to come out, bend your front knee and carefully return your back foot to warrior 1. Wherever you prefer your arms. Let's do it again. Either do it with your props, or if you're more experienced and you know how to do it without your props, you can follow me. Pointing the fingers forward, hopping the back foot forward. The weight is now on the front foot. You can either put your hands on your blocks or continue pointing forward. Carefully transition all of your weight to your front foot. Lift your back foot. Trying to have one long line from your heel to your fingertips, parallel to the earth. You can always put your hands on your blocks. Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. When you're ready to come out, bend your front knee and carefully return your back foot. Do your mini back bend if you wish. Hands to the hips and toe heel back to the center and shake it out. Let's do it again on the other side. Stacking up my cans. Stepping back 2/3 of the way on the mat. Turning the left foot 45 degrees to the diagonal. Stepping far forward on my railroad tracks, and my feet are on 2 different lines. Hip width apart. Turning my hips to the wall in front of me. Shining my flashlights. Pulling the belly button in and up. And rolling the shoulders back and down. Looking up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Maybe my hands are on my hips. Maybe I'm doing goalpost arms. Maybe I'm holding my sword. And let's move. This is warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1, to warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. So I'm going to point, hop, and luckily for me, I have a wall here. I can just pick up my foot. And since this wall is so close, I'm just going to take my arms out to the side. And when I'm ready to come out, I'm going to carefully bend my knee and return my back foot. Warrior 1. And hands to the hips. Toe heel back to the center. And shake it out. So another good thing to do is to squat and work on your hips. You know, people in other countries are still sometimes, depending on what kind of work they do and where they live, are still doing a lot of these squats. Very good for your digestion and for all of your joints and your muscles. So let's try it. Maybe we come down a little bit. Maybe more. Maybe more. Lift up your heels, that's fine. Or put your heels down and bring your hands to heart center. If this is too much, you can sit on a block a little bit until you get more used to it. Stretching out the low back, can you feel that? Also stretching out the fronts of the thighs. Also stretching out your calves. Let's put either use your blocks or put your hands on the mat, and let's lift our hips up and turn our feet forward. And we'll just keep a micro bend in our knees, and we're doing a flat back. Let's bend our knees and take our hands above our knees and then slowly roll up. And take our hands overhead. And let's roll back down. Maybe putting our hands on our block, maybe taking our hands to the mat. And if we're flex enough to take our hands to the mat, maybe we take our palms underneath our feet and let our toes touch the inside of our wrists. This is called gorilla. Relax your neck, shaking your head no. Keeping a micro bend in those knees. You don't want to overstretch the back of your knees. And if you're doing gorilla, take your hands out. Maybe put your hands back on your blocks and slowly roll up. One vertebrae at a time. And let's do a tree pose. We'll take our hands to heart center. I'm going to move my blocks so you can see. And let's ground down into the right foot, and let's turn our left knee. You can keep your toes on the floor if you wish. Find a gazing spot, something to look at that's not moving. We call that a dristi. Maybe you pick up that left foot and put it on your right calf. It might help your balance if you press your calf into your foot and the sole of your foot into your calf. If you wish, you can grow branches. Let's seek wisdom. It's the OK sign with your fingers, a hand mudra. And let's bring this wisdom to our heart center. And put both feet down, shake it out. Tree pose on the other side. Vrikshasana, tree pose. We're going to press down into our left foot and turn our right knee. Press our hands together, that will help our balance. Maybe put the right foot on the calf or above your knee, pulling your belly in and up. Looking at your dristi. When you're ready, you can grow some branches if you wish. Making the OK sign. Bringing our hands to heart center, offering our heart some wisdom. Returning both feet and shaking it out. So let's sit down on our mat. Maybe we sit on our feet, and if that's not comfortable, you can sit cross-legged. But you want to try to do this because it opens up the fronts of your ankles. It helps you maintain flexibility in your ankles. That will help you if you start to fall. Your ankles will help catch you if you maintain your ankle flexibility. And this is a great way to do it. Opening up those ankles. And now let's sit down on our mat. And we'll put our feet together in Baddha Konasana. See if we're any more flexible now. Sitting up really tall. Maybe we hinge forward and press our elbows down into our thighs. Let's sit up tall. Inhale, exhale as you hinge forward. Inhale and exhale. Let's lift our knees and take our feet as wide as our mat. Maybe your baby toes are touching the floor. And let both knees fall to the left and then to the right. Hearing all that snap, crackle, and pop in our hips. And let's keep our knees down to the left. And let's take both hands to the left. And then if you want to, put your elbows down and try to look at the wall behind you, and then maybe rest your head on your arms. And lift your head, use your hands to press yourself back up to a seated position, return to center. This is mermaid's twist. So let's turn our knees to the right and take all of our hands to the right. And take our elbows down and rest our head on our forearms. On an inhale, press yourself back up and return to center. Let's try Dandasana again, stretching our legs out, taking our hands to our sides, and maybe lifting up our tailbone just a little bit, getting some room between our vertebrae. Let's sit cross-legged, and we're gonna take our left hand down and take our left ear toward our left shoulder gently. And lift up our right hand and just take it front and back a little bit. Stretch out the right side of the neck. And lifting the head, let's put our right hand down and take our right ear toward our right shoulder. Lift our left hand and take that hand just a little bit forward and back, stretching out the left side of the neck. Replacing that hand, lifting the head up. Let's just look to the right and take our chin toward our chest gently. And lift our gaze. Let's look toward the left and take the chin toward the chest gently. And lift our gaze and roll our shoulders back and down. Let's take our feet wider than our mat, and we'll just windshield wiper from one side to the other, trying to take our knees toward the mat. They don't have to touch. And now we're going to lay down. We're going to start by lying down on our side. And then let's roll to our back, keeping our knees bent. Let's pull one knee into our chest and then the other knee and rock from side to side. Let's circle our knees like you're drawing some circles on the ceiling. And go the other way. And let's take our arms out like they're a big T, and let's take both knees to the left, and we'll look toward the right, trying to keep our shoulders on the mat. Nice twist. And return to the center. Take your knees to the other side. Look toward your opposite arm. Nice twist. And return to the center. So you could keep your feet on the mat with your knees bent. You could walk your feet as wide as your mat and then let your knees fall in on each other. And you could take your hands, palms to your belly. You could close your eyes. This is Peaceful Lake. We're breathing, final relaxation. Relax your neck. Wiggle around until your shoulder blades feel good on the mat. Smoothing the lines on the forehead. Eyes are soft. Cheeks relax. Teeth separate and tongue falls to bottom of mouth. Relaxing your neck. Shoulders melt into the mat. Arms are heavy. Collarbones separate and chest relaxes. Breathe into your belly. Breathe into your back body. Hips are heavy. If you wish, you can extend your legs. Your feet are as wide as your mat. They flop open. Your arms can stay where they are, or they can come down at an angle with your palms open. Shavasana. Breathing. Legs are melting into the mat. Maybe you wiggle your toes, and then just relax and breathe. Let's bring our awareness back into this space, wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles, bending one knee, putting that foot on the floor, bending the other knee, both feet are on the floor. Let's pull one knee to our chest, and now both knees to our chest, and rock gently side to side, giving yourself a back massage. And now roll to your favorite side, bending your arm. Make a pillow with your arm and rest your head. Knees are bent. meditation. Put your glasses if you wish. Rub hands together to generate some energy, some prana. Place the warm hands over the closed eyes. Open eyes into darkness of hands. Separate fingers to let light in. And pull hands to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. The light in me shines to the light in you. And that's what we mean when we say the word namaste. I'm Nancy. You can find me at TaiRoGa.com or on Facebook. See you next time.